In federal political news, Prime Minister Carney and the Liberal government's cabinet meetings in the city have wrapped up, giving a bit more clarity now what's on the top of the agenda for the September 15th session of Parliament as it returns. And one of those fresh faces is Mandy Gull-Masty, Minister of Indigenous Services Canada. Minister, welcome to CP24 Breakfast this morning. Appreciate you joining us to talk more about this. I know you can't say a lot necessarily about what happened behind the closed doors in the last couple of days in your retreat there with your cabinet, but when it comes to residents in Toronto, particularly Indigenous residents, what do you think they have to look forward to based on those meetings you've just had?
Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning. Yeah, we had a very intense working cabinet meeting. It was nice to see my colleagues again. Many of us have not seen each other in person, but we've been coordinating and working together, especially with the wildfire season that we had this year. In terms of what we're looking for, of course, we're going to see at ISK, a change in the delivery of the services that we offer to First Nations. That includes both on and off reserve. We do have some off reserve programs that we run. For those big cities that have service delivery, we are always, working to enhance those working relationships with our partners. We are always looking to ensure that the service that we are offering aligns with the needs of the population. I had a really great meeting this week. I was able to go in person and speak to Kids Help Phone, which is, a service that has been in place for many, many years. It is something that I want to encourage all people, Canadians, Indigenous people, Inuit, Métis. It is an exceptional service that they offer in the city to connect children looking for that support, looking to speak about anxiety, just looking to talk through the things that they're dealing with.
And Minister, we also know Indigenous healthcare is an issue, again, on reserve, off reserve. Here in Toronto recently, it was St. Michael's Hospital opened an Indigenous Wellness Centre. I wonder if you expect to see more programs like that or services, areas like that, where specifically Indigenous people can go to get healthcare that more aligns with them.
We at ISK have a partnership with provincial governments that help us in the service delivery. Healthcare, we have to speak to where it is right now. Healthcare is an issue for everyone in Canada, be it Indigenous or be it, your average Canadian. It is something that we're seeing a lot of pressure. I had a really great discussion with my counterpart, Marjorie, who spoke to me a lot about what she heard when she was doing her tours this summer, talking about the mental health, talking about the wellness issues that people are facing. It is on her radar. I'm happy that we had the time to collaborate this summer and to really discuss how our files interface. I think that's one of the things that's important for people to understand. At ISK, we do deliver Indigenous services to Indigenous peoples, but we interface with a lot of other departments as well. And I think that's the importance of ensuring that you're offering a mainstream, efficient service that really reflects the needs that they want to address.
All right, Minister, I'm sure one of the other issues that came up this week, of course, is the Build Canada Act, the priorities that need to happen to sort of help move Canada's economy along in the face of these U.S. tariff threats and others. You're in an interesting position. You're the Minister of Indigenous Services, Indigenous member yourself. Part of this involves, talking to various Indigenous communities, whether it's around Ontario or around the country here. I wonder how you see this intersecting, because there's been so much controversy surrounding that bill, making sure Indigenous and First Nations are on side. How do you look at this issue, and what's it like being a member of the Crown while also being a member of First Nations?
Yeah, it was an interesting space to be in. A couple of months ago, I would have been listening to the dialogue with the government. I would have been sitting on the other side of the table. So to now be on this side of the table and to be having that lens, I'm always working with my fellow ministers, trying to ensure that they understand the process of how you engage with First Nations community, trying to refine what we would look at in terms of developing the consultation process. I think what's really important is we're sitting at the table with a Prime Minister who is willing to listen, who is willing to do the engagement. We had a number of sessions this summer, a lot of really great dialogue, a lot of feedback that helped guide the committee that's looking at this. We saw earlier this summer the announcement of the Major Projects Office. We had the announcement of the new CEO, a capable lady who's coming in. I'm very proud to see other women coming into spaces of leadership, has had a lot of engagement with First Nations. So I do believe that as this announcement continues, and new issues come forward, you will see that there's going to be a tailoring and an engagement component. So I'm looking forward to see what the next steps are going to be. Of course, there was, a mixed reaction. We had some communities that were asking themselves, is this something that I want to pursue? We had some communities that came forward with, proposals that they were interested to put on the table. So A lot more work to be done.
Okay, it's going to be interesting. Of course, Parliament returns on September the 15th, 10 days' time. Minister of Indigenous Services Mandy Gull-Masty, thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate this time.
Thank you, Miigwech.
Take care.